Welcome to Legacy Lens, and today we're tackling a question I get all the time. Could I survive in medieval times? Spoiler alert, probably not, and neither would I. Those Renaissance Fair weekends and Game of Thrones marathons have given us some, let's say, creative ideas about medieval life. As someone who's spent 20 years studying this period, I'm here to shatter those illusions with some brutal historical truth. So let's dive into why you wouldn't make it 24 hours in actual medieval Europe. Your medieval day begins at dawn. That's around 4:30 a.m. in summer. No alarm clock needed because you barely slept anyway. Your bed is a straw-filled sack on the floor, shared with family members, and a thriving ecosystem of fleas, lice, and bed bugs that have been feasting on you all night. While archaeological evidence from medieval sites consistently shows parasitic remains in living quarters across all social classes, a 13th century medical text called the Breviarium Bartholomeae has an entire section dedicated to lice treatments using mercury compounds that slowly poisoned the patients. Choose your poison, parasites or actual poison, hungry after your restless night. Hope you like bread, dense dark bread that's nothing like your fluffy modern loaf. Medieval peasants consumed 1 to 2 pounds of bread daily, making up the bulk of their roughly 2,500 calories. And this wasn't artisanal sourdough from your local bakery. Analysis of preserved medieval bread and waste sites reveals that when grain supplies ran low, people supplemented flour with ground acorns, peas, beans, and sometimes straight up sawdust. The real danger, fungus that infects rye and contains compounds similar to LSD. Yes, medieval bread could literally make you hallucinate before killing you. Historical records describe holy fire or Saint Anthony's fire. Mass ergotism outbreaks with symptoms including hallucinations, convulsions, and gangrene as extremities lost circulation and literally fell off. That avocado toast doesn't sound so pretentious now, does it? Let's address the smell, not just body odour, though there's plenty of that, but the comprehensive sensory assault of a medieval town. Contrary to popular belief, medieval people did care about cleanliness. They just had different standards and methods. You might wash your face and hands daily, but full body bathing? That depends on the century and region. By the late medieval period, especially after the Black Death, medical theory held that water opened pores to disease. Full immersion bathing became less common, a practice that many physicians actively discouraged. Your dental routine, rubbing teeth with a rough cloth, perhaps with salt if you're fancy. Examination of medieval skeletons shows extreme dental pathologies were universal. Abscesses, infections, and tooth loss began in youth. That chronic toothache, just part of everyday life. Urban sanitation would shock even the most hardened modern traveller. While some major cities maintained remnants of Roman sewage systems, most urban areas had minimal waste management. Chamber pots emptied into streets or waterways was standard practice. The medieval French phrase, "Gardez l'eau," watch out for water, wasn't a friendly swimming warning. It meant someone was about to dump human waste from a window above you. Feel sick? Better pray, because medieval medicine operated on principles that would horrify modern healthcare professionals. The prevailing medical theory viewed illness as an imbalance of 4 bodily humours: blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile. Treatment aimed to restore balance, often by removing the humour in excess. Got a fever? That's excess blood, so a barber surgeon will drain a pint from your already weakened body. Feeling melancholy? That's an excess of black bile. Better take these purgatives to violently empty your digestive system from both ends. Surgery existed, but without anesthesia, beyond alcohol or opium derivatives, if you were lucky. And forget about antibiotics. A simple cut could kill you through infection. Childbirth? That carried a 1 to 2% maternal mortality rate per birth. Given that many women experience 6 to 10 pregnancies, the cumulative risk was staggering. Modern notions of social mobility and individual rights? Forget them. Your life was largely determined at birth by your sex, family, status, and location. Most people were peasants working land they didn't own, surrendering portions of everything they produced to nobles or the church. Women had severely restricted legal rights and limited control over their own lives. The concept of following your dreams or finding yourself would be utterly foreign, or religious conformity wasn't just expected, it was enforced. The church regulated not only worship, but also what foods you could eat on which days, no meat on Fridays and numerous fast days, who you could marry, and even what thoughts were acceptable. Deviance from orthodoxy could result in anything from social ostracism to execution for heresy. Perhaps most shocking to modern sensibilities would be the omnipresence of danger and violence. Homicide rates in medieval England were approximately 10 times higher than in modern Western societies. Justice systems were rudimentary at best, and concepts like due process were centuries away. Disease was a constant companion. The Black Death, 1347 to 1351, killed 30 to 50% of Europe's population. Imagine half of everyone you know simply gone. But even between major epidemics, infectious diseases regularly claim lives, especially among children. Archaeological evidence suggests 30 to 50% of children died before age 5, a heartbreaking reality medieval parents had to accept as normal. Natural disasters hit with particular ferocity in a world without early warning systems or emergency services. Fire devastated wooden towns regularly. A poor harvest meant not just higher food prices, but potential starvation. Let's say you've somehow survived the day. No disease, no violence, no workplace accidents with crude tools. Now what? Entertainment options were severely limited. No smartphones, no books. Unless you're among the small literate minority, no Netflix. Entertainment came through religious festivals, communal gatherings, storytelling, and music when you weren't working, which was rare. Most medieval peasants never travelled more than 20 miles from their birthplace their entire lives. The next village might as well have been on another planet. The medieval period wasn't all misery. People found joy, created art, built magnificent cathedrals, and developed technologies that transformed human experience. Medieval innovations like universities, mechanical clocks, and early banking systems laid groundwork for our modern world. But would you survive there? The historical evidence suggests most modern people would struggle catastrophically with the physical hardships, social constraints, and omnipresent dangers of medieval life. The past, as historians love to say, is indeed a foreign country. They did things differently there, and mostly in ways that would kill us pretty quickly. That's all for today, mates. Please like and subscribe for more brutal historical truth bombs. Until next time.